Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, which is professional wrestling. Hope you guys had a great Friday. Hope you guys had a fun, safe, awesome Halloween. Happy Halloween, if you're a parent, it's awesome. Maybe you get to raid your kids' candy. If you have a favorite candy, go ahead and let me know inside the chat so we can talk about it. For me, I don't know why. Butterfinger's just a favorite. It's just so great. I got nothing beats Butterfinger. When people either love, people either hate Butterfinger. You get a lot of Snickers. You get a lot of Snickers. You get a lot of Milky Way. You get a lot of what is it? Twix. Twix is pretty good. I got to be honest. But is it a candy or is it a cookie? I'm just kidding. We're not going to start that debate right here. Have it too heavily heated, and then everybody goes home upset because some people think that Twix is a cookie. The other one's like, no, man, it's a candy. And then all of a sudden we go off the air and it's a disaster. I'm just kidding. Moving on. Thank you so much for tuning in to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We have a great show for you today, all lined up. We're going to talk about some WWE Smackdown. Of course, we got WWE Smackdown tonight. Then we're going to talk about some TNA and Ring of Honor. We're going to give you some of the review for the episodes on Thursday. Their Halloween shows. I'm also going to talk about AEW Dynamite. I was not on the air last night. Going trick or treating with my kids. Putting them in Halloween costumes, making sure that they eat something before they go out for a long night where they're walking around and just like, Dad, can we go home? Why did she bring a wagon? And everybody's all bringing a wagon with their kids and stuff like that. And you feel like the worst parent in the world because you're like, damn, I should have thought of that. But, but anyways, no. You know what? In a way, it's kind of a good thing. You kind of get them to walk around, knock on the door, socialize with people who answer the door and give them candy. Be like, oh, say trick or treat. Thank you. Happy Halloween. Tires them out, then they go to bed early, so you get to, crash out early. So it's a nice excuse to kind of go on after that. And then after Dynamite, we're going to talk about Chris Bay and his neck injury, obviously on the taping on TNA on, I think it was Thursday. No, I think it was the 27th. I think it was the 27th in Detroit, Michigan. He had a nasty fall, neck injury, and it's just, it looked bad. It looked really, really bad. And you know, neck surgery is always, you basically think you're going to lose your career. You basically think it's all over. You can't wrestle anymore, but then sometimes you really have to take it easy because you're not too sure because being paralyzed and going out there and trying to make your wrestling career go out again, it's not easy. So we're going to talk about the injury. We're going to talk about Chris Bay's response on on social media, basically saying how this is the first step within a very, very, very long journey, and it is. And it's very, very long. Look at Edge, look at Big E, who's still not wrestling. And it's hard. It's hard. It's a very, in terms of neck injuries, it's in terms of a wrestling career, it could be a killer. And then our fifth and final segment, we're going to talk about WWE Crown Jewel. It's going to be live on Saturday. Can't wait to watch it. Obviously, it's going to be when I'm at work, which sucks. So I'm going to, obviously I'll watch it when I come home. And I don't get to check Instagram, Twitter, or like anything like that because I don't want to, I don't want to hear anything of it. I just ultimately I just wanted to be shocking, unpredictable. That's as a wrestling fan, that's what I ultimately yearn for. So let's go ahead and dig on into the subject matter. But before we do any of that, I want to remind you guys to go ahead at the tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Also hit up that super chat whether if you got a burning question or a hot take in terms of professional wrestling here at the GSMC Sports Network. We are all ears, 1,010%. So go ahead and feel open. If you're dying to get something off your chest or dying to share something, here at the show, we respect all opinions. So we can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. This show is all about keeping the conversation lively, making sure your voice is part of the mix. So don't be trying and drop your thoughts inside that box. And if you really, 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 really want to make sure your comment, question, or concern gets talked about on air, maybe even debated about if it's a hot, juicy subject, then why not use that super chat? It's $1. Go ahead and hit that $sign below the chat box. Whatever you guys put inside that box is going to be guaranteed to be featured and talked about on the show. Plus, it's a great way to support our channel, the GSMC Sports Network. It gets these podcasters more of a reason to go live and give you guys the sports content that you guys love so dang much. And, we're all passionate about sports. We all just, fixate our lives. For me, football, basketball, baseball, wrestling, in terms of everything like that, it's just, it's a nice little escape from all the cr- cruddy stuff that's happening around the world. And you're like, man, sometimes you just want to take a break from, the Fox 11 news at 10, where some guy like, I don't know, it's hard. Sports has definitely been a huge like uplifting moment in a lot of people's lives. That's why it's important. That's the reason why a lot of fans stay true to their colors, you know what I mean? So, even in the world of professional wrestling, wrestling has been, it's been in my family for years. I remember watching wrestling with my parents and watching, Raw and Nitro and stuff like that. But of course, time does move on, and it's just something cool to kind of think about, something to talk about. I've been a fan my whole life, so that's kind of cool. So, first and foremost, thank you in advance. We are super grateful for each and every one of you guys who joins us here on the GSMC Sports Network, daily. So, thank you guys for your support. So, let's keep this, let's get this party started. Let's keep this conversation lively, making sure you guys send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome, and together we will make sure this podcast is, bigger, better, and stronger than ever. Once again, if the super chat not your thing, hit up the GSMCpodcast.net. Hit up the tips and donations link. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Just to remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show, follow the network here at the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity, 1,010%. But of course, in terms of talking sports, it's inevitable. Criticisms and disagreements are bound to happen. It does not matter. Go ahead and hit it up inside that chat. We can definitely talk about it. So yeah, make sure you guys hit it up. Be a part of the show. It's gonna be a good one. All right, so our first segment, we're gonna talk about some WWE Smackdown. It's gonna be live tonight in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. I, for one, can't wait to watch that. I feel like, and I don't know if this might be what is the word? Not coincidental. That's not the word. Spiritual? No, no, it's not the word. Dang it. I don't know why, but I feel like every single time WWE is hosting events in a Barclays Center, maybe superstitious, I feel like it's good. I feel like it's really, really good. The fans in New York are obviously, you know, very prominent. They love the professional wrestling, especially before pay-per-view. This is obviously the go home show before WWE Crown Jewel. And there should be a lot of shocking factors. Maybe not per se taking, happening tonight, maybe, happening tomorrow night, but just a lot of layups. Like, you're waiting for that alley oop, you have the pass, and at the end of the day, the storyline writers in WWE have to dunk it home and have to be, make it make sense in the world of professional wrestling. So, it's gonna be pretty dang awesome. Tonight we have Randy Orton teaming up with the WWE Undisputed Champion Cody Rhodes, taking on Imperium, the team of the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Gunther, and also Ludvig Kaiser, the rising star of a young WWE. Um, you know, I feel like this match is going to be great. I feel like there's probably going to be some KO action inside this match. Maybe perhaps there's speculation, kind of surrounding maybe Goldberg coming around. And they said, I read an article, I think it was on Fightful, I'm not too sure, don't quote me on that, but it was Goldberg's plans in WWE is extremely, it's going to be shocking. It's going to be super shocking. So it could be good. It all depends how they write it. But Goldberg making it back to the WWE kind of ultimately kind of scares me, because I'm like, usually when this guy's in any kind of spot, he's in a smash match where he wins. I feel like, back in time, when he got that win over the Fiend, when he got that win over Kevin Owens, dethroning him as the WWE Universal Champion, you kind of stunned their push. Like, you know what I mean? You kind of have it, you kind of got it to a screeching halt. I feel like if Goldberg comes around, you kind of have to treat him like a John Cena or like a Kurt Angle, where he's here to like promote younger talents now. Like his time's already done. It's you say goodbye, you know. So and Goldberg's not really. he doesn't really have the reputation of being like this top tier wrestling guy. Like I can't confidently say to someone's face, I was like, oh yeah, Goldberg was an amazing wrestler. Goldberg was cool. He was great. Like I thought he was, I thought he was, thought he was, new and edgy and hip and stuff like that. But as a wrestler inside the ring, his matches never really were, I don't know. It just wasn't good. I didn't like it. So, we have that happening tonight. Nia Jax and Liv Morgan will come face to face, and this is something that actually, I'm looking forward to see how these two women kind of go at it. My thought is you have to have Tiffany Stratton cash in against Nia Jax at WWE Crown Jewel. That is the only thing that makes sense. If she cashes in against Liv Morgan, although I feel like Liv Morgan, you have Rhea Ripley written off TV with her orbital, right eye fracture. She's expected to be out like couple of months. So people think that she's gonna be out the rest of the year. So that leaves Liv Morgan, open for storyline. So that's I feel like you shouldn't really touch that in terms of WWE writers. The only thing that makes sense, and it sucks because Nia Jax, she had a nice little run and, she got the title back in SummerSlam. I thought that was, pretty badass. I thought that was cool. She had a good run. I kind of thought she was going to have more of a dominant reign, but Tiffany Stratton is just going to be pushed right now. She's getting pushed by WWE as a babyface. Fans are starting to get behind her. I like her as a babyface. And on Raw, the champion is a heel, Liv Morgan, obviously. And on SmackDown, you can have this not really a baby face, kind of like this, you like me or you don't like me. Obviously I feel like Bayley's gonna challenge her, then you have Naomi. And because if Tiffany Stratton does not successfully cash in against Nia Jax, if Nia Jax knocks down Tiffany Stratton's briefcase, then she's gonna be upset. She's gonna be pissed about Tiffany Stratton trying to cash in. You were my so-called, friend, this and that and the other. And then every single week on SmackDown, you're just going to see Nia Jax in this smash spot after smash spot after smash spot, and absolutely just demolish Tiffany Stratton, just eradicating her, Tiffany Stratton's, career push. So I feel like it makes sense. Something's got to give. I feel like tonight you're going to see, partially like maybe like a foreshadow of for it's going to be the last straw. This tonight's going to be the last straw for Tiffany Stratton. Nia Jax is probably going to say something disrespectful or kind of grab her by the throat once again. And then it's just going to be, after that, it's kind of like Tiffany Stratton's going to be like, all right, I know what I must do because this isn't working out for me. I feel disrespected. I have more talent than this, and I got to stand up for myself. So, expect something like that to happen tonight. Next match, we have Jade Cargill. I've seen, I was reading a couple of, previews of WWE Smackdown. I'm seeing Jade, I'm seeing Bianca. I feel like Bianca is going to take on Io Sky, Piper Niven and Last Legend in a fatal four-way match before their, four-way tag team match coming at WWE Crown Jewel for those women tag team championships. Obviously coming out of this one, I see Bianca building up momentum. I honestly don't think that they're going to lose the titles tonight, or I'm sorry, tomorrow. To be brutally honest, although Last Legend of NXT has been absolutely phenomenal. She's been absolutely impressive. Her physicality inside the ring is just it's amazing. It's crazy what she does inside that ring. So should be badass. Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, yeah, don't really want to call it like a joke tag team, but to be honest, it's kind of like yeah, the always amazing, sensational Chelsea Green and her personality, always getting under the skin of all the other competitors, and then you have her muscle Piper Niven, in like in an alternate universe in terms of the world of professional wrestling, maybe that could work. But I've been a fan of professional wrestling my whole life, and it's just like this is not going to work. It's more or less just kind of like for the show. You have two amazing wrestlers that definitely do have the potential to kind of be bigger than they actually are. But right now, it's not their time. It's not their time. Chelsea Green she's great. Piper Niven is great as well. So I don't know. And Io Sky, Kyrie Sane, Damage Control. they might have a shot. I give them, I'm going to give them 35%. I'm going to give them 35% of winning, at WWE Crown Jewel. But I don't know. I don't see any reasons why you would take the titles off of Bianca, why you would take the titles off of her and Jade. Something that's kind of, an unwritten rule in professional wrestling. If you want the champion defending the titles to not look weak or weaken their push or necessarily seem like they're not title contenders, or like, oh, they just won the belt just to kind of, just to kind of save face in front of in front of SmackDown, on Raw and stuff like that. Like, hey, let's put the titles on these two amazing singles wrestlers. You book them in fatal four ways, you book them in triple threat matches, like, something's got to give. And last time they lost their WWE Women's World Championships was in a triple threat match, and they didn't, they never got pinned. So, maybe that might tell the story again on Saturday, but as of right now, I don't really see, as of tonight, Jade or Bianca, losing. Jey Uso seeks an apology from Roman Reigns tonight. Obviously, when SmackDown went off the air last week, you saw them, kind of do the "We the Ones" once again, which is strangely has not, they haven't, it hasn't really been talked about on social media and stuff like that. So, it's kind of crazy. Will we see Sami Zayn? Will we see Sami Zayn's, stance heading toward a WWE Crown Jewel main event match with, the 3-on-3? This is ultimately going to test if Sami Zayn is going to join, and I don't like it. Maybe he might find his way into Solo Sikoa's new young bloodline, perhaps, or you might see him prove to Jay, prove to Jimmy, prove to Roman that he's actually, the honorary Uso. He's part of the family. So I feel like what's going to be ultimately building up tonight, and that's going to be portrayed on WWE Crown Jewel. And Sami Zayn, he's got to come out tonight. He's got to come out on SmackDown. He has to say a few words. Obviously, you saw a heated exchange last Monday night on Raw between him, Jay. Jay, at the end of the promo said, "You're not family, Uso." And Sami Zayn, after everything he's done for Jey Uso, the way he's watched his back and the way he's watched the back of the bloodline before he was ultimately kicked out for not, hitting a chair shot on his, friend Kevin Owens. And, that just leaves fans pondering, like, well, who's Sammy going to choose? Because as of right now, he definitely has legitimate reasons of, being like, hey, Jimmy J, all right, if that's how you feel. He did get along with Solo Sikoa, did get along with Solo Sikoa in the bloodline before, Roman Reigns, got him, got Sammy kicked out. But, it should be interesting. Should be interesting to find out what's going to happen tonight. Street Profits taking on Pretty Deadly. We got Bayley and Naomi taking on Candice LeRae, Indi, Hartwell. Once again, I want to see Candice LeRae flaunting her WWE Women's Speed Championship. For her not having the belt on SmackDown or on Raw, where she's being, placed in front of a camera, ultimately kind of, I feel like, diminishes the value of the belt. It's the inaugural WWE Women's Speed Championship. So, I don't get it. If you're introducing like this version of a mid-card women's title, and you're not going to promote it, you're not going to have her wear the belt and like wear it proudly, and be in this presence like, hey, dude, I'm a champion too. So if you're not going to do that, then obviously I'm not going to give a crap about WWE Speed, in the women's or the men's. Like, you know what I mean? Why should I if you're not ultimately promoting, or if you're not actively having the champion kind of, hold themselves on this platter, hold them on this pedestal, hold themselves very high as a champion, as like if, the WWE champion Cody Rhodes, the Intercontinental champion, it's I don't know, right? I want to see something tonight. I think Candice LeRae and Indi Hartwell are a great tag team, but I don't know. Should be interesting to find out. What's next for the Motor City Machine Guns? The new WWE Tag Team Champions are set to speak tonight. Also, will Adam Pearce confront Nick Aldis about the Bloodline coming to WWE Monday Night Raw, causing havoc? So it should be interesting to find out when, if they have a confrontation tonight. All right, guys. So, hey, do not go anywhere. We're going to jump on into our second segment. We got some TNA Ring of Honor reviews. So do not go anywhere. We will be right back. So, yeah, don't go.